Hi everyone, my name's Lindsay, and this is my story about my journey to motherhood. My husband and I met in 2007. I was 18, right before I graduated from high school, and he was 24. We hit it off right away. We started dating June 25th of 2007, right after I graduated, and we were engaged on February 28th, 2008. I was 19, just turned 19. And we were married June 20th, 2009. I was 20 years old. He was 26, almost 27. And right away I knew I wanted a family. My whole life I've wanted to be a mom. I kept bugging him and bugging him because he wasn't ready yet. And I was ready to become a mom. November 2009, less than 6 months after we got married, we decided to just go off birth control and see where it went. I found out I was pregnant in early December, and I was only 20 years old, and it was scary when I took that pregnancy test. The first thing I did was run into our bedroom, wake up my husband, and he said, "Nuh-uh." But we were so excited and nervous and scared all at once. We knew that becoming parents was something we've always wanted to do. We were really young, at least I was. He was a little older, but I knew that he was going to be a great dad no matter what. Shortly after, we announced to everybody, at exactly 12 weeks along, I started feeling these cramps, and I thought it was just growing pains. Didn't think anything of it until I went to bed one night and I felt a pop. Unfortunately, we lost our baby. Really hard on us. As a young married couple, I had just turned 21. It's something that you don't expect to happen to a young person, and it was hard to talk about and hard to go through, knowing that there's all these other parents who don't have any issues with loss. And so we decided to just start trying right away after that, and once again, unfortunately, we had a year and a half of infertility. My doctor put me on Clomid. It helps you ovulate, and I was on it for way too long. I was on it for almost 10 months. And finally, my last month, I just was like, well, it's not going to work anyways. I'm not going to go get tested on it because they check your hormones after you're supposedly ovulate. And I started feeling sick early July, and I was late. So I was like, well, I have one extra pregnancy test in the cabinet. Let's just take it and see what it says. It was positive. When we were getting ready to move 2 hours away, and my husband was already down to where we were moving for his job, and so I had to call him and I let him know that we were pregnant, our miracle baby. And so we nicknamed that one Cupcake, and we were really reserved but excited because we didn't think it would happen again. Another loss. September 15th, 2011, I lost our baby. We lost our sweet little girl. We named her Lily at 14 weeks, 4 days. I had the same issues. I started feeling cramping, so I went straight to the doctor that time, and they said I was 2 centimeters dilated, and they rushed me over to the hospital, which was right next door, and I was scheduled for the next day to get emergency cerclage. If anybody doesn't know what a cerclage is, it's a transvaginal cerclage, so it would have been, they sew your cervix shut to make sure that the baby stays in there. And I was put in a position where my head is down and my feet are up in the bed, so it was supposed to help gravity keep the baby in, and unfortunately the next morning she was in the birth canal and I was forced to deliver. Another devastating, hard loss. I was given to my maternal fetal medicine doctor, Dr. Buckmaster, and he said next time we'll do just a regular transvaginal cerclage right at 10 weeks and 6 or 7 days, or 6 days, I think. And he did that. We didn't know how easy or hard it would be for us to get pregnant again. And so we just started trying. I started practicing yoga, and I was losing a good amount of weight. And 2 months of trying, and I found I was pregnant again. And this one was a complete shock because I went through a year and a half of infertility, and then I was pregnant with our son, Grayson. I had my transvaginal cerclage placed at 10 weeks. I think it was 5 or 6 days. And exactly the next week that he went to go check on it, my cerclage was already failing. And that was the most heart-wrenching thing, because you have all this trust in your, not just your doctor, but your body, and you expect your body to do what it's supposed to do. As a woman, it's supposed to carry a baby. My body wouldn't do it, just no matter what. And so they put me on strict bed rest at home because I was so early on. And I went 10.5 weeks on strict bed rest. I only got to shower every 3 days. I fell in love with my son as I laid in that bed. I got to see him every week for ultrasounds, which was awesome. But at 22 weeks and 2 days, I started getting that same feeling. It was contractions. I had my husband come home from work, and we rushed to the hospital. I knew it wasn't going to be good news. I thought maybe they could save him, but he was perfectly healthy, just beautiful, micro preemie. I delivered him at 22 weeks, 3 days. They had to take out my cerclage because I had contracted a bacterial infection. I was either going to die or I had to deliver. That was pretty much what they said. You keep the baby in, you're going to die. So I was forced to deliver, and I got to hear him cry. They gave me the option to try to sustain his life in the NICU. And at first I was like, I don't want my son to suffer any way, shape, or form. But on the other hand, I was very selfish, and I said, miracles happen. I want that little boy. I laid in bed with him for 10.5 weeks. I mean, I literally did everything I could possibly humanly do to keep him in. He wasn't thriving when he came out. They placed him on my chest, and my family was there. I got to introduce him to our family while he was still alive, and everybody got to hold him and kiss him, and my mother-in-law sang to him, and my dad sang to him, and I held him as he took his last breath. When my doctors came in and said, "Do you want to try this one more time?" I said, "No, I don't want to go through that again." I mean, you don't want to go through pain after pain after pain. And as I laid there, I just prayed to God to give me an answer, whether he wanted me to stop trying to become a mom, or, look into other means of becoming a mom. And adoption's always been on my heart, and I know that I wanted to adopt, but it's so expensive, and we financially just didn't have the money. After going home and grieving, I mean, I still grieve Grayson to this day, and we just celebrated his second birthday angelversary. So it was May 19th of 2012. I talked to my doctor, and I said, should I just quit trying? And he said, no, I think that there are other options. I think that you could get a transabdominal cerclage, which is a cerclage that they place at the top of your cervix. They go in like a C-section, and they place a band around your cervix, and it's supposed to be the most effective cerclage that they can place. It's 95, I believe, or higher percentage of a positive outcome. So my husband Aaron and I decided, let's do this just in case we decide to get pregnant. And of course, my body and my heart and my mind, I just wanted to be a mom, so I wanted to become pregnant, and we started trying right away. I got my cerclage placed August 20th of 2012. We've been trying ever since. It is now May 28th of 2014, and I still have not had a pregnancy at all. It's been a long 2 years of trying.